What's going on, everybody? My name is Tomas and this is Manfrotto's camera slider, more specifically the MVS060 Alpha. This is a 23.5-inch slider, so let's go ahead and get into it. And before we do that though, I want to say thank you to Manfrotto for sending this out to me for review. It is their first shot at a camera slider and I'm really excited to just get into the box and show you what it's all about, and then also demo the type of things that you can do with this slider. I asked if Manfrotto would send me the 23.5-inch slider because of portability reasons. In the box it's protected by some styrofoam. Let's go ahead and remove that and put it off to the side for now. And then Manfrotto gives you this pretty neat looking bag for carrying. It looks like it's a carrying case or carrying bag actually. Before we get into that, you get some documentation and then an Allen key to make adjustments. The one thing that you'll notice with this slider, if you purchase it this way, is that it doesn't come with any feet, so it's primarily going to be utilized on a system of tripods. So this is the 60 centimeter version of this slider. It also comes in 100 centimeter. With that being said, the slide length is roughly 47 centimeters or 18.5 inches. So the length of the slider doesn't necessarily mean or translate into how long the slide is. Another thing you're gonna really have to consider with this slider is that it is around 5 pounds or 2.5 kilos. 2.2 to be exact, and 4.8 pounds to be exact. So you have a 3/8 and a quarter 20 in 3 different spots. It's really well built and it's a fantastic item. Now the MVS060 Alpha and MVS100 Alpha are both bearing based sliders, but they have an element to them that allow you to adjust the friction on them because they have a different lock on this side. Before we get to that, there is a bubble level on the mounting plate here. There is a 3/8 screw mount here because Manfrotto is expecting that you use something like the MVH502AH fluid head in conjunction with this, or any of their ball heads, for example. It's a really smooth, nice motion. And I can say it's absolutely silent, because some ball bearing systems have a tendency to make noise to where you can hear them on the camera. You won't have any issues here because this is absolutely silent. Here is the interesting part about this slider. It has 2 knobs, one to adjust drag and one to lock it down. So if I lock it down with the red knob, it's not going anywhere. But if I loosen this up and put this slider at an angle as you see here and loosen up the drag, you can utilize gravity in your favor and have your system go about its business. If you have a heavy system on top and you just loosen this up a little bit, you can put gravity to work for you without having to buy a motor or whatnot, and you'll get a very nice pan. Again, we'll put that to the test here momentarily. I just want to take a tour around the slider. The slider itself, the rails are made of machined metal and they're one solid piece, and you got some bumpers here and at the other end of the slider here, which will protect if you have something loose like this and it'll bump into it. It's actually really, really nice. With that, let's go ahead and put this lock down and take a look at the bottom of this. As you can see, it's machined aluminum, but the bearings themselves are made of plastic. They're plastic wheels. The padding on the ends come with an available 3/8 and a quarter 20. Another 3/8 and a quarter 20 in the middle, and another 3/8 and a quarter 20 on the other end. Manfrotto has done a great job of branding this with their logo here, and I believe on the other end as well. Yes, and on the top and in the front of this actual plate. So without further ado, let's go ahead and dress this system down, get it mounted to an actual tripod, and let's get some sample shots. All right, so the first thing that I noticed right off the bat is how beautiful this thing looks on the set of these legs. These legs are the 546 Bravos, and then that's the MVH502AH and another MVH502AH. One thing that I noticed that this thing is built for Manfrotto is because if you see, there's a lot of space right here. Now that's not always the case when it comes to attaching a slider to the 502AH fluid head. This thing is easily loosenable and tightens down really nicely. because there is a nice little space up here with the slider. Another thing that is going to be of interest to folks is the slidability of this slider when it is attached to the 502AH fluid head. Let's go ahead and loosen it up. And you can see that there's plenty of clearance there. Sometimes sliders, the fit when it's mounted to the 502, I can't utilize this PL plate. I have to use the regular 501 plate. That isn't a problem with the MVS. If you're interested in pricing and availability, I'll be linking that in the description of this video. Let's go ahead and get into some sample shots of this beautiful slider. Now, all of these sample shots are coming straight off the camera with no post-production. It's just me doing this handheld straight off the camera, just to give you some insight on how this slider performs, just utilizing it without any motors or anything like that. It's literally taking me one try to get great shots. Handheld, no motors, no post-production. All right, so here is a demonstration of how you could mount this and utilize the drag system on this slider, the Manfrotto slider. Now, I wouldn't recommend going too steep because you do have the potentiality of damaging your equipment. But as you can see, if I loosen this up just a little bit, it'll start to move on its own. And without a motor, I can get a pretty solid slider shot, and it's just going to do it on its own because it has a drag system adjustment. This is awesome. Now again, just be very careful because it will smash to the end, and then it could tip over your system. But just so you know, this is available. Here's another example of me just setting this up, hitting record, and going to work. All handheld, no post-production stabilization. It's a fantastic slider. If you don't want to spend the money for a motor, or you want to practice the art of getting slider shots, this is a fantastic little tool that you could add to your plethora of your workstation or your workflow. It's awesome. I love it. Literally nailing this in one shot. It's awesome. And I can tighten the drag system down, help me get a nice stable shot while I go down. Not too much, but enough to where I can hold this and let it go down. It's fantastic. Overall, the Manfrotto Camera Slider has made a substantial impression on me on its usability. It's literally one of the easiest sliders I've ever had the pleasure of using. Now, that's not saying too much because I haven't had a whole lot of experience with a wide variety of different sliders, but this thing has made a really substantial impression on me because it's so super smooth and so easy to get that perfect shot the first time, handheld, without a motor. It's something that I am really in awe of. It's a fantastic slider. And for the price, it should be. Because right now, going the way that is shown in this video with nothing on it, it's around $4.99. If you're interested in pricing and availability, it will be linked in the description of this video. Well, that about does it for me in this one, everybody. If you like this video, please feel free to give me a thumbs up. If you didn't, give me a thumbs down, and let me know in the comment section down below what it is that I can do to improve. In addition to that, feel free to check out my channel and some of the past works that I've done. If you like what you've seen here and what you've seen on my channel, and you haven't subscribed, please feel free to do so. Thank you for taking the time to watch this video. Take care.